So, with how prevalent Mr. Terrific was in the new Superman movie, and the fact that he is a founding member of the Justice Gang, and I doubt that's going to be the final name by all is said and done with this, it made me think that he probably will be a founding member of the Justice League within this new DC universe. And that got me thinking over the entire history of the Justice League, there have only been so many black members on the team. So, who are the top 10 black Justice League members? One of my only caveats for this whole thing is the fact that with Justice League Unlimited being a thing which pretty much made every hero in the DC universe a member of the Justice League, it opens the gate to, well, everyone. But I kind of want to go off of those that had like a good tenure or featured very prevalently. Even though, to tell you the truth, some are just going to be a one-off. First off, I got to go with the Jason Rush version of Firestorm. Jason Rush. I don't know if I'm ever saying it right. Now, you would think with a powerhouse like this, I'd have him much higher, but because of the way he actually got onto the Justice League, is a little bit too funny to have him any higher than he is. You see, during DC's year-long event called 52, Firestorm had actually went into space with Cyborg. They became fused, and when they came back, they both decided to start their own Justice League team, with Cyborg being more of a mentor. And let's just say it didn't go too well for Jason, especially in 52 week 24. As you can tell by his team, which features the Bullet Tier and Firehawk, Ambush Bug, the culmination of his league came when he called, I think it was Green Arrow, who told him how did he get this line, and pretty much to cease and desist before they sued him. He would later join up with the Justice League because they felt he was too powerful, but that didn't last too long. And since the new 52, Jason's pretty much just been relegated to obscurity. Number 9, I'm going to have to go with Bloodwind. I don't even know how many people actually remember this character. He's pretty much DC's version of Spawn. Technically, the character made his first appearance in Justice League of America number 61, but it wasn't actually the real Bloodwind. It was actually the Martian Manhunter, who I've always identified as a black man. Been mind controlled to take over this form, and it involved like a bloodstone and slavery, and it got weird. The character wouldn't make his real first full appearance until Justice League of America 77, where the whole thing with the Martian Manhunter was revealed. He kind of was DC's way of getting the heroes in on the occult and darker and magic side of things. So he did remain with the team until like 91 or 92 of Justice League of America, when the series was stopped due to the 0 Hour Crisis. And one of my main things about remembering this character is that it probably was the Martian Manhunter version, but he was there on the front lines when Doomsday first appeared. Since then, he's pretty much faded into obscurity. You might catch him in the background, though he did have like a backup story in 2024 in a comic. At number 8, I have the one and only Nubia. If you didn't know, originally Nubia is the twin sister of Wonder Woman, who was born the same time as Diana, but instead of being raised on an island full of all women, she was raised on an island full of all men, which she ruled. She was later brought back into the DC universe proper, where she's no longer Wonder Woman's sister, but she is seen her as an equal since they both were born the same day, and she was the queen of the Amazons for a little while. Joined up with the Justice League and Nubia in the Justice League number 1 in 2024 post-Stark Crisis. This didn't last long because DC was already moving into a new era called the Dawn of DC, but I placed her mainly this high because of the cultural significance of the character, and when you need a Wonder Woman on your team, you might as well go get Wonder Woman. At number 7, I'm going to give it to Naomi. Naomi joined the Justice League in Justice League number 59 in 2021. During this time period, Brian Michael Bendis, who created the character, wanted to give her more of a forefront, plus she had a show on the CW, so they featured her very prevalently in this new version of the Justice League, which featured Black Adam and Wonder Woman's mama, Hippolyta. I hope I said that right. Naomi was a pretty big member of the team, joining up after members of her race from her planet started trying to come to Earth, and they had to go to her planet. So this is how she kind of proved herself to the team and landed on there until the Dark Crisis event. And she and Black Adam were sent back to Earth. They pretty much disbanded the Justice League. Due to the fact that Bendis was writing the book at the time, Naomi was featured very prevalently. She is a powerhouse with the team. And that's pretty much why I have her at number 7, because she had center stage during this run. At number 6, I have the one and only John Henry Irons, aka Steel. Steel joined the Justice League in number 16 of JLA in 1998 during Grant Morrison's run. When the team was looking to expand their roster, he was actually Superman's pick as a new member. He appeared pretty regularly through the Rock of Ages arc, World War III, the 5 Times Crisis. One of my favorite moments for him is when he was going up against Prometheus, We actually saw how the hammer works for the first time, and he threw it and it kept getting faster but still hitting harder. Pretty much served as the team's engineer and mechanic during his run, only lasting on the team for about a year and a half before leaving in JLA number 36. After the Watchtower was destroyed, he pretty much started to fix that and focused on the outside aspects of keeping the JLA running instead of being on the front lines. At number 5, we have Jefferson Pierce, aka Black Lightning. And while Black Lightning had run-ins with the Justice League before, especially being introduced by Batman with the Outsiders, he didn't join until 2006 with Justice League of America number 1. This was the second volume after Infinite Crisis. Sorry, I almost said Infinity Crisis. After years of obscurity, this was the first time that the character had been featured very prevalently on a team, using his connections to the White House because at the time he was actually the Department of Education chair. It was even a pivotal part in getting the return of Wally West during a crossover with the Legion of Superheroes. Since then, he has been a mainstay with the Justice League, being called in when they need some extra power. He was recently featured in his own mini-series with his daughters, focused on his time with the Justice League Unlimited team, as well as helping new Metas understand their powers and helping Josiah Power start the new power company. He is hoping his ranking only goes up from here and he's featured more prevalently. At number 4, we have the one and only Vixen, or Mari McCabe. Vixen had a pretty long tenure with the Justice League of America, going from issue number 233 until his final issue with number 261, where she left the team due to the fact that her teammates Vibe and Steel had been killed. But she later would return to the Justice League with Justice League of America number 1 in 2006. Vixen does hold the distinction of being the first black woman to join the Justice League. At number 3, we have the one and only Michael Holt, aka Mr. Terrific. And while the character is more closely associated with the JSA, even serving as a chair member on the team, he did become a member of the JLA in 1999 at issue number 27, but only for a short time to help them during a Crisis of 5 Times event. More recently, in 2024, he serves on the Justice League Unlimited team. And while I said it is a little weird to use this title because of the fact that it's pretty much every hero in DC, Mr. Terrific has been featured very prevalent in every issue of this book, acting as their man in the chair, their coordinator, their strategist, and sending each one of the heroes to where they need to be, effectively acting as a captain for the entire Justice League. And while the series has only ran for a little over a year, he's pretty much asserted himself into that position that he is the man with the plan, and the DC universe and the Justice League specifically will always defer to him, even more so than Batman when it comes to figuring a way out of a situation. What's interesting about Cyborg is the fact that he has always been associated with the Titans, or the Teen Titans. So when the DC Universe started to restart with the New 52, it was a big deal that he was going to be in the front and center of the Justice League, joining with the number 1, and his story being very central to the idea of this New 52 team. We got to actually watch him alongside these heroes who weren't who we knew, but they still had that iconography. And we saw him grow from being this kid that just got these powers into being a hero that can stand alongside all these characters, as well as him understanding how his powers work. DC has so much faith in this character going forward that they even put him into the Justice League movie, played by Ray Fisher. And then while that didn't quite work out, it showed that they were trying to push him as that character to watch. He pretty much served as a member of this Justice League team until they realized that New 52 wasn't working and started Rebirth and put him back with the Titans. Cyborg on the Justice League, actually one of those times where the character was elevated to me to a new level, giving him a spotlight to a whole bunch of people that didn't know who the character was, or had only known him as the guy with that team group. His power over the mother boxes and the fact that he brought the Justice League into the new millennium with his control over technology, he showed why he deserved to run with, well, the big dogs. And at number 1, was there ever any doubt there would be John Stewart, the Green Lantern? I can't even talk about him being a member on the Justice League without talking about the impact he had by being a member of the Justice League, without talking about the Justice League cartoon. Because of how well he was developed on this cartoon, he became the Green Lantern for a whole generation. There's a whole generation of folks out there that know John Stewart and have never heard of Hal Jordan. And that's because of him being on the Justice League cartoon and how it put him again front and center. What a lot of people don't know is that he actually made his debut 25 years before he was on the cartoon in the Justice League, that is, and what would be his second appearance in Justice League of America number 110 in 1974. Here he was brought in because Hal Jordan wasn't available, but he did serve good with the team and put himself in good standing. But since the Justice League cartoon, John Stewart has taken on a whole new life of his own, being featured more prevalently, especially in the New Lanterns TV show, as well as leading the team at times and taking his station within the Green Lantern Corps way higher. It's almost to the point if you have a Justice League but don't feature John Stewart, that book's not going to do good. The stoic Marine who's the best sniper in the universe, and the more and more writers use him, the better the character gets. And it all started because of a Justice League cartoon.